So you see, that's how the sausage is unmade.
Oh, gee whiz. Oh, what a cracker. Oh, every inch. Hello, folks. Welcome to the Big Damn Cast, allegedly. I'm Big Damn Matt, and with me as ever...
I'm also here.
Oh, yes, he's here. Chris is here.
Yes. We are sponsored this week by Flying Wasp Spray.
Yeah.
Because nothing says that's an annoying sound in the background quite like a fly. So,
a Buten bottle.
Yeah, you know how we occasionally get a third contributor to join us in the podcast? This week's one wasn't working out. They just kept vomiting back onto our food before they ate it and buzzing past our faces.
Wouldn't stay fucking still.
Yeah. So
Terrible.
we've committed murder.
Yeah.
But we're about to commit worse crimes on your ears. What news have we got to give to them this week, Squire?
We've got some casting news from CW's Arrowverse. We now know who's filling the cowl of the Batwoman. We also know that we got some upcoming Star Trek news and CBS All Access shows being confirmed.
Tasty shite.
We got some more rumblings from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 mess.
Yeah.
And we're going to take a deep dive into Marvel's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Also known as Mevils int min Unzivisp.
Unzivisp. And also we're going to crack through some of your emails.
Yes, like filthy slave drivers to those building the pyramids.
Yes.
We're going to crack them good.
We're going to crack them like we mean it.
Yeah.
So yes.
Disclaimer, we're not going to force anyone to build a pyramid.
No. And neither did the Egyptians.
Oh. Was it the aliens?
It's commonly believed that they weren't slaves.
Oh.
That they were paid labourers.
They just liked being whipped as they were lifting
bricks,
so
it's commonly believed that was not the case.
Let my people go from a job that they're apparently completely fine with.
It is commonly held by historians that the folks who built the pyramids were not in fact the indentured slave Jewish folk, but was actual paid labourers.
Oh, okay. Or just dreamers.
Because they found...
just big old dreamers.
Yeah,
hey,
dreamers.
You know what'd be really cool? What? Let's build some big triangles in the desert.
I think they found...
Yeah, who's with me?
I think they found, payroll records.
Oh, snap. Okay. Wow, so what you're saying is...
Something like that.
You're saying is the Bible is a work of fiction.
Oh, no, I don't think that... were they explicitly building the pyramids in the Bible?
According to every film ever made with a biblical intent.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's...
Well, I don't know.
That's got to be a 100% accurate reading of the Bible.
Which is definitely a work of non-fiction.
Definitely all happened exactly as it's written.
In the beginning,
there was
pen.
Pen?
I love that gag in Red Dwarf. They're like, I think it's Rimmer. It's like series 1 or 2 is watching old news reports.
Yeah,
they're just watching them on, continuously.
Like I sometimes watch old adverts from the 80s and 90s on YouTube.
Why is that child's eyes glowing like hell? But and one of them is like, a new page has been found, believed to be from the original printed copies of the Bible. It is said to read, "To my darling Candy, all characters mentioned wherein are fictitious." It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
But then they do also go back and meet Jesus.
No, they don't. They meet a guy called Jesus, who's
yes.
not that Jesus. But then that Jesus appears at the end.
Is he a Jesus?
He's a Jesus, and he's from Nazareth, so they think it's him, and then by the end you realise it's not actually that Jesus.
Asus, Besus, Caesar, Jesus, Ephesus, Jesus.
But then at the end, because Rimmer had the theory during it that Judas and Jesus were twin brothers, and one of them faked the death for this, that, and the other, and la la la, and then at the end, two blokes played by the same actor, green screened in twice. Yeah. One called Jesus, one called Judas. Book a table at the restaurant. So, yeah.
Judas Iscariot.
Judas.
Let's talk about...
We got biblical there.
We got biblical.
Yeah.
Let's talk about... Look, a tangent.
I like the sound of them.
The lesser spotted tangent.
As they rock up and
on the big
screech
damn
in our
cast.
faces. The lesser spotted tangent.
The lesser spotted... So, Batwoman is coming to CW's Arrowverse shows.
Oh, what is forcing these female superheroes into existence?
Know,
Where's our straight white male superheroes?
There absolutely was... Someone was sharing, mockingly, like someone who had actually tweeted an outrage at how whenever they reboot these characters, they always have to be women or gays or minorities or more than one of those things at the same time.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. Like, they put like,
okay.
why can't we just have our straight white male character?
Yeah.
And someone replied with, "Don't you mean Batman?
Don't you mean Batman?
Like,
also,
who exists and you can read and watch plenty of media featuring him."
Also, this is not like this is not a gender swap version of Batman. This is Batwoman. She's a separate character.
Yeah.
It's not like, and has been since the 40s. I guess when the
original incarnation,
the original Cassie Kane version. This is the modern Kate Kane version. Who's ex-military cousin on Bruce Wayne's mother's side. The Kanes were Martha Wayne's family.
Kanes and the Waynes.
Kanes and the Waynes. Well, they're going to go into that with this. That's certainly the version I'm familiar with.
They should have been the Robinsons or the Fingers, really, but whatever.
Hey! The Robinsons' fingers.
New Robinsons' fingering.
Hey! Oh! But yeah, so she was... when they did the modern version of Batwoman, they made a bit of a stir by making her an openly lesbian superheroine. Superhero. So, of course, that's coming through into the new version. And they have cast... Ruby Rose of Orange is the New Black, an out lesbian, identifies as gender fluid, and has been popping up in all sorts of stuff. She's in the Meg.
She's in the Meg,
which is out next week.
Yes.
She was in John Wick Chapter 2. So she's been in Fast and Furious. She
has kick-ass bona fides.
She can do action. Looks great. LGBTQ representation. Yeah, it's going to be great. She's going to debut in the upcoming Arrowverse crossover, because they do their annual crossovers now. There hasn't been a series order, but from what I've heard, it seems like they're going to do a feature-length pilot like they did for The Flash, and then see if it gets ordered to series, and then do it that way.
I would be surprised if it didn't get a series of some...
I would like it to be a shorter
based
series,
solely on the casting. That's a big get.
That's a.
I mean, it's a movie star. It's a movie star name.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? She is climbing. Her profile is climbing.
She's climbing up that ladder.
So for her to commit to working an amount of time during the year on a TV series means that either she really freaking believes in the project, or they found a way so she can manage a TV series in her schedule, and she's like, great, get me on board.
And also just like the look of Ruby Rose. As again, she's gender fluid, so sometimes she's presenting more masculine than feminine, or vice versa, which actually fits a bit into Kate Kane, who in a civilian identity is short-haired, and as I say, ex-military, but as part of the Batwoman cowl is a long flowing wig.
Which, I mean, I know it sounds weird. That's one thing I'm really intrigued, just visuals, because I think Ruby Rose was like, oh fuck yeah, she's awesome. Like, she's got a really cool aesthetic. And I was like, oh, she'd have to put on a giant red wig in this as well.
She's tiny.
Yeah.
So, which is going to be, again, interesting of like, this tiny woman being an absolute badass.
But she's proven to, like, be, her action bona fides are there. But I know what you mean. It's like, is it going to be... Are they going to really play on the idea that she's small and wiry, maybe?
It's that contrast, that contrast of being physically small but also very physically powerful.
Yeah,
is always quite exciting to watch.
And also the best superhero identity cover up in any media, because when she's Batwoman, she's got big freaking giant red hair.
Yeah.
So people are obviously going to be looking out for giant red hair when they're thinking of the secret identity.
It is the same colour. to be fair.
Yeah, but it's also...
And she is also
Gyro.
alarmingly pale.
Yes, yeah. Oh, well, now that's... I saw someone mention this on Twitter. They were like, what, are they going to... Like, do you think they're going to cover the tats? Or... Because she's very tattooed. She's got, like, sleeves and everything.
Probably.
Possibly. Like, I think it depends. If they're going to go for the ultra pale makeup look, that's going to be A, expensive.
Yeah.
And B, a daily occurrence.
Yes.
Unless, of course, Kate Kane's going to spend a lot of the show in long-sleeved and, like, zipped up everything, so they'll never have to make up her neck and face.
They'll do some... Well, when she's going to be in the Batwoman costume...
Yeah, you're only going to see, like, a mouth
fully covered.
and forehead. Yeah.
So, it actually would be fine if her civilian identity was heavily
tattooed. That's true.
Especially if they're going to lean into the ex-military angle.
Very true.
Yes.
All in all, it seems like a fantasy casting made flesh.
Yeah, because I think I was ruminating on who are they going to cast as Batwoman, and then I saw it this morning, and it was that moment of course. Yeah. Why the fuck didn't I think of that? So yeah, really smart casting. I'm looking forward to seeing how that turns out. Ruby Rose, bring it on.
When are we going to see the straight white male Batwoman?
Yeah.
I'm getting sick of the lack of representation.
Hey, if you like straight white males, I've got some good news for you.
Where the hell is this segue going?
Patrick Stewart is coming back as Captain Jean-Luc Picard in a new series for CBS All Access.
Say what?
He's returning to the role. That one.
Yeah.
That role.
The smell of a pile of money is just out of reach. No, well, I don't
know. I can't imagine CBS All Access have that kind of money.
No, but all the same, I did see when this was announced earlier in the week. Cause it was a CBS All Access press conference, wasn't it? And it was focusing on Star Trek Discovery, but a few other projects as well. And while they were there, they asked a special guest to come out and say a few words. And the special guest was Patrick Stewart, who revealed very quickly into his few words that he's returning to the role of Jean-Luc Picard in a brand new show. And I saw a lot of comments that night of like, wow, if you've got a dump truck full of enough money, I guess you could get anyone to do anything. But the way he spoke about it, he spoke about like, it's not going to be a Star Trek series in the strictest sense in terms of format. We're exploring the later years and another chapter in this character's personal journey.
Which, he's going to be an admiral or something by that point. I think he is in the
films,
not.
He's
not going to be in command of a ship.
Yeah, he's not going to be out in the field, so it's going to be a more character-led story set in a world we're familiar with.
I think it'll be more political. Can you imagine a West Wing but Star Trek?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It could be a nice counterbalance to Discovery, because Discovery is a bit more... It's set in the original continuity, but it does have more of an Abrams trilogy bent to it. It's a bit more rough and tumble and action. Yeah. Whereas this could be a way to return to the next gen's probably most lasting contribution to the series, which is the diplomacy and morality angle, which was in the original series, but the original series was also a bit more swashbuckly from time to time.
One would also assume that it takes
next gen,
place at the latest point we've ever seen in the original timeline.
Yes, yeah, because he said it's about the characters, Twilight years and what he's doing. Yeah. Long after what we know him for.
The next gen universe post Voyager, post the TNG movies.
Yeah.
And the destruction of Romulus.
I think the reason he'd be so game for this isn't because of a dump truck full of money. I think it's because he made Logan. He knows that Logan had a lot to say.
Yeah.
And he got to revisit, and he was very open about this during the interviews for Logan, he got to revisit one of his favourite characters that he'd done for film.
Yeah.
And tell a story he never thought he'd tell. Like when he played Professor X, he thought he was going to be telling superhero action stories. He never thought he would tell the story of what happens next.
Yeah.
After all that dies down, what do these characters have to deal with?
This is
that similar thing. This is Logan for Picard.
If this is Jean-Luc Picard as a high up Starfleet honcho in a political drama. I'm fucking so on board for that.
I know, right?
I'm so on board for that.
Who do we get to pop back in for cameos, do you think?
Everyone. Well, Data's dead.
Yes, but there's no...
And also, you're not going to get Brent Spiner back in that makeup no matter how much you pay.
Oh, not the makeup, but there's no way they'll be able to resist not having Spiner appear in it somehow.
Oh, no, yeah.
Be it as, like, an affectionate after... Like, maybe the AI used or whatever is affectionately named after Data or something. Do you know what I mean? There's going to be some contribution from him, absolutely.
You get Jonathan Frakes back because, I mean, he's around.
He won't show up, though. He won't show up. He'll say he's showing up and then he won't show up. Like every convention he's ever been to.
He'll just swagger on being all Riker going, I'm Riker!
They'll have to make the chair backs much lower though.
Although he's married now, isn't he? He's married to...
Just realised he won't be able to swing his legs.
No, he won't.
Enthusiastic.
Although he's a very tall man. So maybe he will.
He's a tall man with a tiny head.
He married Troy in Nemesis, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So, So the old Riker Playboy's tied down, I guess.
Yeah.
Michael Dorn's going to be back as Worf.
I hope so.
Because
God, I hope
he's been trying to get a Captain Worf show made for ever.
Maybe that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Like Worf rocks up for a story and he is the captain of a ship.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, he was the captain of the Defiance in Deep Space Nine, but that was a tiny, attack ship rather than the flight, the Enterprise, the flagship of the Starfleet. So.
It would be amazing to see a Worf who is a lot more sensitive.
It would be amazing.
Decades.
It would be amazing to see a Worf.
Just. Do you think we're going to get Geordie? Is Geordie going to rock up?
Definitely. Definitely.
Oh Christ! Wesley Crusher's definitely going to pop up in some form.
I would hope so.
Will Wheaton will crowbar his way.
Will Wheaton was on Twitter because he's over the moon because he's a Star Trek fan anyway.
Yeah,
before he was in the show, but he was also getting quite upset because he was talking about how excited about what he was for it, and all people were doing were just tweeting "Shut up, Wesley" at him, and Alexander be like, it's like at this point in his life, that's a little upsetting.
It's like
it's just like that was so long ago, and also I'm not Wesley.
Do you know what he should have done? He should have preempted it. In his tweet talking about how delighted he is about it, he should have written something just like, I'm gonna chat on about this show for as long as possible. There's no chance I'm going to shut up, Wesley. Just own it, and then everyone's like, fuck, he's already made the joke.
Yeah. But it's shit, and I don't like it. Please stop it. But he's one of those, he's always very gracious with fans, but he's very clear about, I am not Wesley. In a similar way to Dual State on Twitter. He's very clear about, I am not Kaylee. And I'm not like Kaylee. So don't expect me to behave and talk like that because that's not me. It's a character that I played.
Yeah. Which is it's a shame because with some actors, they don't get as bombarded with it and they can, they're very happy to talk about it and stuff. Some actors don't really talk about it on a wide platform, but will do so quietly in moments. Actors like Chris Eccleston doesn't really talk about Doctor Who on a wide platform, but has all the time in the world for anyone who ever asks him about it in person. He'll happily chat with them about it. Because then you get the actors who are very different from their characters, who are absolute twats, like Adam Baldwin, for example.
Oh, well.
Where you just go, wow, you're a dickhead, but two of your most famous characters are beloved characters, and people will be surprised to find out you're a twat when they speak to you.
Yes.
But again, it is acting.
But don't piss off Will Wheaton. He's a nice dude.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So don't.
He tumbles well.
Don't tweet shitty things like him. You're also excited about the CBS event for other reasons.
Yeah.
Tell me about what else is coming from CBS All Access.
So I love anthology television so much. When it's done right, it's wonderful.
I've never noticed this about you before.
Modern audiences are getting to dip into it again. Not so much in American Horror Story. It's anthology season by season as opposed to episode by episode, which I think is a shame because I'm like, no, you guys could do so much if every episode was a different thing. Channel Zero does that better. That's creepypastas turned into full blown horror dramas. And each series is 6 eps, and that 6 episodes is one story.
Candle Cove was the first one.
Was the first one, yeah.
That we saw the trailers for, and then I don't think it actually.
It never got a UK air date.
Actually, I'm sure someone sent us a Channel Zero email at some point.
I want to see it because Don Mancini's involved as a producer and stuff, and as much as he's a shitty human being, I'm intrigued to see what Max Landis' script treatment for Candle Cove was, because he, I think, wrote the first 2 series of it. So it's the anthology TV has inspired a lot of peeps.
Fuck Max Landis, though.
Fuck Max Landis.
Yeah.
And rehire James Gunn. But, so, hashtags everybody. But, you know, like, the Black Mirror, of course, is probably the best bit of anthology TV around at the minute, I'd say. Blirra.
Blirra.
And over the years, anthologies usually been associated with horror, Tales from the Crypt.
Because it's so much fun.
It's pretty damn great. The Outer Limits and shows like that. The granddaddy of them all, the goddamn Mac Daddy, Grandmaster, Spank Me Daddy, hashtag Daddy on my daddy, is the Twilight Zone. Like, it's the one.
That theme is ingrained into people's brains on a primal level.
I know. Well, yeah, even people who've never seen it or heard of it.
They know the Twilight Zone theme as a go-to
it's
sound
weird.
for creepy and weird, yeah.
Twilight Zone's amazing. It's like, it was 5 seasons in the 50s. They're morality plays, basically, with supernatural or horror elements to them. Some of them are terrifying. Some of them were terrifying and have aged badly.
On the wing.
Something. Some of them are not frightening at all. They're just there to make you think. And they're really, really good. And it was resurrected in the 80s with a series that featured actors like Morgan Freeman and Bruce Willis and like sort of some of their earliest appearances. And it did really well. It was resurrected for a brief series in the 2000s, which had... I'm trying to remember who the presenter was. Like the host, because Rod Serling was the creator, like the guy behind like Planet of the Apes and stuff as well, TV show and things like that. Oh god, who was it? Let me see who it was. Because when it came back in the 2000s, it didn't quite hit because here we go, 2002 series. It was remakes of older episodes plus a few new ones. It was only 1 season of 43, but that was, to be fair, that was my introduction to it. I saw it through that first.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction to Twilight Zone because it was being repeated on some channel, some cunt. Yeah, it was. Forrest Whitaker was the Serling role. He appeared at the top and tail of each episode, but the theme tune. I love Korn, don't get me wrong.
Oh no.
But they did the theme tune, and it's sort of a new tune with an element of the original tune.
No.
Yeah, it's not good. Like, it is not good.
Oh no.
Oh. Yeah, but that was my introduction to the Twilight Zone, and I adored it. And it was fun, and it hit the point. And oh, what fun it is to ride on a sleigh song tonight. So there's that. Twilight Zone is the Mac Daddy. It's brilliant. It's perfect. It is the introduction to twist narratives.
And
it's superbly acted. It's got some amazing talent in every episode.
It's coming back.
And it's coming back. CBS All Access. I'm bringing it back.
Who's at the helm?
The producer of the show and the overseer of it all, and hopefully the writer of a couple, fingers bloody crossed, or at least director, is Jordan Peele.
Oh, yeah.
Now, in today's modern landscape, if you want to have someone tell a supernatural morality tale that is scary and gripping, the guy who gave us Get Out is not a bad choice whatsoever.
Nope.
By the sound of what he's mentioned of it previously, it's a passion project for him.
Yeah.
It's something he really wants to do. And CBS spoke a little bit more about it at this event, but they basically said, yep, we're going into production. Like, it's a happening. A new series of Twilight Zone, which makes me delighted. The only thing that could make me even more excited for it is if they got Charlie Brooker to write at least one.
Oh, it'd be daft not to, wouldn't it?
It would be, especially because Black Mirror is technology Twilight Zone. Like, it would be insane not to at least have him go, all right, Charlie, if you didn't have to write something based around tech, what's your take on this? And see what happens. Because, God, I love it. And again, just the showcase of talent, the artists and writers and actors who appear in all versions of the show.
Yeah.
It'd be fascinating to see what actors buy into the world of it now and show up now in the Twilight Zone. I'm all for it, boy.
So how long do you think before the pattern of history repeats itself and an Outer Limits revival is announced?
Or Tales from the Crypt. I know that one's been on the cards for a while.
Yeah, M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, because there was going to be a pilot, wasn't there? Proper one. and now it's kind of in a we're not sure what's happening stage.
Because he's working on Glass.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay.
And also because he's M. Night Shyamalan and he's bad at things.
What? No. But yeah,
Kind of
no,
is.
that would be pretty. That would be pretty.
I was
great.
always more familiar with the Outer Limits thanks to the 90s one, which cropped up both as being a few years behind the 80s Twilight Zone, but also in the post X-Files genre TV boom, where we got stuff like Dark Skies, and things like that.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah, of course. Dark Skies.
Dark Skies was
a thing.
Was all right. It was all right.
There's no alien nation. Wait. So I'm delighted to hear that amidst the Star Trekian thingy, anthology TV, specifically horror and supernatural anthology TV, is on its way back. Please put like some American Horror Story cast members in it as a little Easter egg for modern anthology. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Like stick Jessica Lange in an episode or something. That'd be great.
She's great.
She is pretty damn great. Do you know what else
Sarah
is pretty
Paulson.
damn... Okay, no, yeah, she's also pretty damn... Have you ever
Sarah
watched her be
Paulson.
interviewed?
No.
She doesn't like doing chat shows. She's really nervous about it. But the one that she returned to the most was the Late Late Show when Craig Ferguson was on it.
Oh, because Craig Ferguson.
Because Craig Ferguson. And there's a compilation...
Careful, Icarus.
Actually, I'm Daedalus.
Hey, I went to see Iron Maiden on Monday and they had a giant Icarus inflatable for Flight of Icarus.
There you go.
And also Bruce Dickinson had twin flamethrowers because of course he did.
Of course he did.
Someone let that mad cunt have flamethrowers on stage.
Do you know what they should have said to him?
What?
Careful, Icarus.
Ah!
So, God. But if you watch her interviews with Craig Ferguson, like, she's clearly sort of nervous and out of her depth in the first one. By, like, the third one, you can tell she loves going back to that show.
Yeah.
Because she's just having the best time. And she's adorable, and she should be in all the things.
She's a great actress.
She honestly, after our chat the other week, she's the reason now at the minute I want to see Glass. I'm just intrigued by her sharing the top billing with those guys. I'm like, good, she should do.
She's really good. I'm glad that she's getting more like high-end movies now.
I was going to say,
Like
she was in Ocean's 8, wasn't she?
She was one of the leads in Ocean's 8.
Oh, shit. I'm miffed I missed that. Time just took me away from it, really.
She's great.
Do you know what else is great?
What else is great?
I don't know what's the next story. I hope this works. I hope this works.
We're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh!
Very soon. But before we do that...
Oh, saved.
In some other Disney news...
Oh, Jesus.
And a little bit of an update from the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 debacle, with it looking increasingly less likely that Disney are going to rehire James Gunn to direct Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Dave Bautista, once again being very, very vocal, has now come out and started and said that if they don't at least use the script, the James Gunn script, he's going to be looking to renegotiate his contract with Disney and getting them to like kill him off or write him out or whatever they need to do, because he's not happy to be associated with the project without James.
Mm-hmm.
He'll do what he's legally obliged to do.
Yeah,
but he will be seeking to be released from his contract if James Gunn is not that he's not rehired, but that he's not involved with the project at all.
Yeah, like he wants to make sure that the story James is telling can at least still be told. Ideally, with James completely involved, but if not, at least with James's script.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this the other week. We were saying that it's possible that they will use James Gunn's script, but they'll bring someone else in to doctor, so to change bits and pieces, and then they will get the screenwriting credit, and it will be story by James Gunn.
But that's just such a thing for... If Disney are going to fire him from this project as director, but then keep him on as writer, it's incredibly hypocritical. Because they're saying that this person and what he's done and said and written doesn't reflect the values of this company.
Yeah. And then he uses written words.
Writing this movie.
The third part of a redemption story for characters who grow.
Stupid.
Yeah, but I wouldn't put it past them to do that. Just to keep the peace to some degree. And not see their own hypocrisy.
This is just going to be... There's no way this is going to end well for anyone.
Anybody. Yeah. And there's the thing as well, like, part of me wonders whether or not they would just go, look, we're making all the money in the world. The Guardians are appearing in Infinity War Part 2.
Yeah.
Let's just
We don't need to do
the
this.
Guardians
Fuck
movie.
It, yeah.
But the amount they'll already spent on pre-production
will
be ginormous
They've
because they'll have been making that investment. The amount they've just freaking invested in the Guardians in terms of their extended property is nuts. Like, a Guardians ride is currently being... Yeah, the Guardians ride is popular at DCA in California.
Yeah.
They're about to open a different Guardians ride in the next year at Epcot, which
They've got the dance-off in Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, the Summer of Heroes, where they can't use the word Marvel for weird contractual reasons.
Which they were plugging the fucking dance-off and the Meet Gamora, Meet Star stuff the same day they were tweeting out about firing James Gunn.
Isn't it weird? Like,
it's so weird!
I mean, just on a separate level even, like, as much as I love that the Guardians of the Galaxy are a household name now, it's really weird to see the dance party adverts with Star-Lord and Gamora.
So, air quotes Star-Lord and air quotes Gamora, because obviously it's some Disney host.
Yeah.
Bless the souls.
Bless the souls.
Good, like... valiant soldiers on the front line of entertainment.
But isn't it sad that you watch that trailer and you're like, I know exactly what the quote-unquote plot of this stage show is. He's like, we're going to dance. She's like, I don't want to dance. He's going to teach the kids some moves. They're all going to do it and she'll eventually come round and we'll all have a laugh and it'll be great. And by the way, the director got fired for weaponized morality being used by an alt-right rape apologist.
And also spoilers from Infinity War.
They're both alive and dancing in Paris. Yeah.
Doesn't end well for either of those.
They're in canon, guys. It's in canon.
Spoilers from Infinity War. Gamora gets thrown off a cliff and Star-Lord is dust, so...
Yeah.
Don't get too happy.
Some actors in the parks doing the superhero stuff, especially in California Adventure, have really embraced it. You've seen the footage of the Gaston guy.
Oh, yeah.
Disneyland in California. Freaking brilliant. There's a guy quite similar to him who plays Thor. Disney's California Adventure, who again, completely in character, hilarious, like, just owns it, and is brilliant, and during, like, there's a dance show or whatever, a Guardians themed thing that was going on earlier this year, not a dance-off per se, but it was, like, part of one of the parades or whatever, through DCA, someone got phone footage of this Thor for, like, 5 minutes, just commenting along to the songs, and dancing on his own, in the middle of, like, the public. Like, he's not in a meet and greet area, he's just walking around thingy. And he does it entirely in character, and it's like, oh, God, this is when this works beautifully.
Yeah.
Like, you are having so much fun, and this is worth it. This is fucking worth it. Especially when you have people walk past who aren't paying attention, and you just see people casually walking past a 6'5" tall dude with a winged helmet and a cape dancing around.
It draws the eye.
Yeah.
I have nothing but the fucking utmost respect for Disney cast members and hosts,
if only they were paid correctly.
Hey, I know. Well, we both know a few people who've done that job at Paris, and it's hard.
It's tough. It's tough, but by and large, it seems the Parisian equivalent is a lot more rewarding.
Yeah,
off the back of it, and people come away with more good stories than bad.
Which is it's nice.
As opposed to the California parks, where apparently they're being underpaid like crazy.
Well, it's America. Everyone's underpaid like crazy.
Yeah. We were in Florida in 2012 in Epcot, and we spoke to a genuinely English fellow in the England pavilion.
Okay.
While we had a drink. And Lucy was inquiring about, like, she was thinking at that point of maybe doing, like, a 6 months a year placement in one of the parks, just working as staff, just because she'd be like, oh, it'd be kind of cool. Like, I'd see behind the scenes a bit, and it'd ruin it for me, but at the same time, it'd be an interesting thing to do.
Would it ruin it for you? Or would it just amplify the magic knowing how the sausage is made?
Oh, God. The sausage turns around to you and says, Mr. Matt, I don't feel so good. It fades away into the deduced. And he just went, don't do it.
Don't.
And she went, really? And he went, yeah. He says, I'm having a good time, but this is also the most stressful period of my life, and it has put me off coming back to the parks after this.
Yeah.
And she went, oh, and he said, yeah, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but I just, don't do it.
The mouse is going to get him.
Then we didn't see him again. Yeah, he went away, and then someone else came back to take our order.
And it was the same person.
No, it was the same guy, but he had a stitch across his forehead.
Yeah.
And he was drooling.
Just leaking blood from one eye.
Oh.
Let's talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes. let us talketh about it.
So,
And its ways.
sequel to 2015's surprisingly fun Ant-Man with Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas and Evangeline Lilly et al. We find Scott Lang's Ant-Man under no longer Ant-Man. Under house arrest after the events of Civil War.
Hasn't been Ant-Man for 2 years.
No.
Yeah.
Hasn't been Ant-Man for 2 years. Hasn't spoken to Hope Van Dyne or Hank Pym for 2 years. Hasn't done any superhero or any anting.
Because it turns out that his arrival in Captain America Civil War was completely off his own back.
Yeah.
Without their consultation. And they actually haven't sorted him out because their tech was used in the airport incident, so they're considered criminals.
As a result of his actions, they are now wanted criminals.
Yeah, and also they don't want to talk to him because he made them wanted criminals and stole their shit.
They're now on the run. So
that lovely relationship that was just starting to blossom has been dormant for 2 years.
That's been a thing.
Because he fucked up. But he's spending every weekend with his daughter Cassie, and he's like the best stay-at-home house arrest dad in the world.
He's the world's greatest grandma.
Oh god, it's great. And his relationship with his ex-wife and her new husband is really lovely and sweet now. It's in a really good place.
Oh, Bobby Cannavale is great in this. He's not in it much, but he is great.
It's like a warm hug.
It's so
mostly.
It's literally a warm hug.
Like that dynamic was really cool. He's working from home, obviously, but he's working with Lewis because the guys have got a security business started.
Ex-con security.
Which a few times in the film they sort of went scon. Like some people very quickly said just called it scon.
Scon.
Almost like not emphasising the ex-con, even though that was the fucking name.
Nice.
Which is great. So those guys are all running the security office in the apartment. Did you notice it was the apartment from the first one, but just gutted out to look a little more fancy?
With a table that Louise found on the street.
It's like Scott's advising them from home, like about security stuff and they're selling, and the business is doing okay, but it might be about to go
It's still
on
in the early stages, so everything's a bit...
But life is sort of in a good place. There's obviously some regrets.
3 days from the end of his sentence.
Yeah, he was only 3 days away from retirement. And
then shit goes down.
Yeah.
And he gets dragged back in because it seems like after his excursion to the quantum realm at the end of the last movie, that he might be the key for Hank and Hope to bring back Janet, Hank's wife, Hope's mother, after 30 years trapped in the quantum realm. But of course he's not the only one that wants the technology, because there's also a weird phasey in and out of Wall-E persons.
A really interesting take on the Iron Man villain Ghost.
And there's also...
Walter Goggins' character.
There's also just Walton Goggins.
Yeah, what's his name?
Sonny Birch.
Sonny Birch. Who is a character, I think. I think they're like a recurring gangster character from Marvel, or a businessman character.
I don't know who they are.
Oh, there's lots of Marvel characters in this that are not big characters at all, but are just like, oh shit, like Agent Woo.
Jimmy Woo.
Jimmy Woo is in it, which is freaking great.
Elias Starr is mentioned.
Yeah. Unseen.
And
he is bald. So I guess
like
he's
an egghead.
Oh, it was weird.
Bill Foster turns up.
Bill Foster rocks up, which is really nice.
The Fishburne enters
Don't call him
the
Larry.
MCU.
Lawrence,
don't call him Larry. Lawrence, don't call me Larry. Fishburne.
And oh god, so like again, like as far as Marvel deep cuts go, there are a lot of treats in this.
Yes.
There are a lot of treats.
In general, just a lot of treats. Because after Infinity War, breathtaking and epic as it was, this is way lighter, and it's way more self-contained, and it's fun, and it zips along at an exciting pace, and there's good fun action stuff in there, and there's some great jokes, and it's fucking Paul Rudd and Evangeline Lilly and Michael Douglas being really, really, really charismatic. And all the people around them and the supporting cast being super charismatic. And I don't know, what more do you want from a superhero movie? It's colourful. I went with a 6-year-old. He spent the whole time rapt. Looked like just transfixed by the screen.
They really play around with we're doing a shrinking movie.
Yes.
In this one, it's less about the shrinking, more about what gags and what set pieces you can do based around different size.
Not just shrinking, size changing both ways, because of course, in the wake of Civil War, we now know that Giant Man is a thing.
Yeah, and due to this movie, we now know that Giant Man was a thing with Project Goliath.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got, you know, you learn more about Pym's technology, about the people that he's hurt along the way.
Yeah.
Hank definitely grows.
Yeah. There's character stuff for everyone here,
Hope,
which is really nice.
Hope was the most pleasing character development for me.
Oh, man. This is called Ant-Man and the Wasp, but really it should be called The Wasp and Ant-Man.
Yes.
It's absolutely Evangeline Lilly's
She's your
movie.
leading star when it comes to dominating the action and the story.
Absolutely dominates the superhero action stuff. And it's all...
Which I think is very consciously done because it means that Scott is again our POV character.
Yeah. We're looking
he's dragged back into this world.
We're looking into their story and their struggle.
Yeah.
And the legacy of the Pym/Van Dynes through Scott as the audience surrogate character. Who just also happens to be a size-changing superhero himself.
Albeit with a less reliable tech this time.
Which
is great.
Yeah.
And again, they go into the science of what this stuff can do to you and your body and how you react. And, I'll say this, it does suffer from the Marvel villain problem slightly in that this movie doesn't really have, after the treats we've had the last couple films in a row, maybe this is the wrong word. It doesn't really have a significant villain.
Because it's not a story about...
No, it's not a story about hero versus villains.
It's a story about...
There is a baddie. Yeah. Like, there are a few antagonists, and there is one who is a bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, they're not the bad guy.
They're a bit more fleshed out. There's a bit more of a redemption arc to at least one of them. And
an open-ended one
this
as well,
this is a story about a family trying to bring themselves back together and all the things that get in their way.
Yeah.
Also, it's funny.
So, I think don't go in after Thanos expecting, like, oh, who they're going to be up against this time. Go in looking forward to seeing how the heroes are going to deal with the problems. Yeah. But I will say this. Who plays Ghost?
Hannah John Kamen.
She's pretty great.
Yeah.
She's not going to leave as big an imprint as, like, Killmonger or Thanos, but, like, she is pretty great.
She's an interesting villain, interesting power set.
A really cool visuals, take on a very different Ghost, character, because...
It's like they've just taken the concept of the character and gone, alright, we're going to spin it on its head.
Yeah.
And, like, given this completely new life to it.
Yeah. And also, again, really it's kind of cool to see that we're at that point now where the villains that are popping up in the movies aren't necessarily the villains automatically matched to that.
No, Ghost and Iron
hero.
Villain,
yeah. So that's kind of cool. I like the fact that we can do that going forward.
Ant-Man's got a good rogues gallery anyway.
Oh no, but it's interesting that because of this world that's established, they can go, do you know what? We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll bring this character in and we'll do a bit of that. And do you know, it's like how the Arrowverse go, fuck it, we're going to do a Ra's al Ghul story arc.
I think the Porcupine is an Ant-Man villain originally.
Possibly. Is Armadillo an Ant-Man villain?
I don't know. The eel? Is that an Ant-Man villain?
Yes. Not exclusively.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm
like a recurring nemesis of Ant-Man. Yeah.
There's a fair bit of crossover in the Silver Age comics, so I can't remember whose villains are whose originally.
It's because all the books were like Tales to Astonish and everywhere, so people were dipping in and out and stuff.
So, but yeah.
But interesting take. Funny. Lucy went into this one. She's not the biggest fan of Ant-Man. It's one of the movies that when we revisited it for the marathon, she dozed off. I was like, really? She was like, I'm just tired. I couldn't be asked. I was like, all right. Okay.
Yeah, it's fun and it's funny, but it's kind of inconsequential. It's light.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
This is also.
I dig it a lot, but yeah, like it's not one of the things. But she went into this one, and she pissed herself the whole way through. And she's already said she likes this one more than the first.
I think it's really funny.
It's an entertaining as hell movie. We didn't see it in 3D, but I'd be intrigued to see it in 3D.
I did not see it in 3D, but there are definitely some moments where I'm like, oh, that's...
Especially Quantum Realm.
Yeah.
And shrinkage and growth of stuff.
Yeah, the Quantum Realm stuff in this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
like if Doctor Strange's sort of going through dimensions was trippy, this one is sort of like this is the Disney dark ride projector thing version of trippy. It's let's take our time so you can kind of absorb it and breathe it in a little bit.
Yeah.
It also goes into the idea of the Quantum Realm being, you know, the psychological side of that a lot more, right down to how it affects you mentally, not just like, oh, it drives people insane. Like, no, you get to sort of see what it can do to you mentally and how it can be used. I mean, pros and Pros and cons. Really funny. Yay. Not enough Pfeiffer for my ticket money.
Not enough Pfeiffer.
But there is Pfeiffer, and it is glorious Pfeiffer. Really interesting visuals. Great ideas for action set pieces. Mm-hmm. Some obvious stuff, some not so obvious stuff. Mm-hmm. In terms of how they do it. The entire... I think this might tie with Black Panther for the most interesting car chase in these movies.
Yeah.
Civil Wars is pretty great, but it felt like a warm up to the one in Black Panther, whereas in this...
Yeah.
You know, in Black Panther, you get the whole idea of super strong guy and super strong lady with a super strong spear chasing after bad guys. In this, it's like, let's see what happens when people who can shrink and grow things have to try and shake the villains off their tail. And it's great.
My main con really is that so much of that action stuff was shown in the trailers.
Yeah, we did see a bit too much of it.
There weren't really any surprises.
No, but Baba Yaga.
Oh, fuck me. That was so good. That was so funny! Oh! Yeah, the gang, Luis, particularly Michael Peña and David Desmalchin, just really piss funny in this.
They're given so much to do in terms of just like that.
Yeah, I'm glad
you can tell a bit of the improv room was left as well. That's another thing that this film benefits from. This film doesn't have the shadow of, well, this was meant to be an Edgar Wright movie. Because no, this is a sequel to the Peyton Reed film by Peyton Reed.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's got a bit less baggage to it, a bit less what if to it all. It definitely benefits from it. I definitely recommend Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I recommend Ant-Man.
I think it's a perfect sort of like Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon sort of film.
Ant-Man was a palate cleanser after Age of Ultron. This is a palate cleanser after Infinity War.
But do stick around for the mid-credits and end credits.
Yeah, and don't do what I did and stick around for the end, and not stick around for the end credits scene after the mid-credits one.
Because there is definitely a couple things in here for the long-term fans of the MCU.
Oh boy!
To make you go, oh shit!
Yes.
Shall we talk about them?
Let's talk about where this movie takes place in the MCU as we move into...
Spoilers! That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The truth serum is out. We're going to talk about this movie in detail.
There's no such thing as truth serum, Chris.
He's right. It was truth serum. You know, I was thinking, we were like an hour in, and I was like, we've not had one of Luis's, sort of, you know, like he said, she said montages. There was two of them in the original. There were two of the highlights of that movie.
And Marvel didn't do the thing that everyone wanted to do and do one to recap the MCU leading up to Infinity War. Which would have been fucking brilliant.
Yeah, but still,
I guess they couldn't get it together for whatever reason.
But they...
Too busy firing James.
Maybe for the Blu-ray. Maybe for the Infinity War Blu-ray.
Oh, that'd be nice.
That would be fun. So we got...
I'll do it for Avengers 4.
Yeah, like to wrap it all up and a neat little bow. But what was really... Release it as a short before.
Yeah.
Release it as a short before the film.
Avengers
That'd be great.
Ever.
Oh, God.
It's got to be Avengers Forever. It's got to be Avengers Forever. It's a comic. It's a good title. And coming off the back of this... probably going to involve time travel.
Very true. Well, yeah, exactly. This movie delves into the quantum realm stuff quite a bit. We'll get into that in a moment because that's trippy as balls.
Yeah.
But so we get our Luis montage.
Yeah.
The moment the freaking truth serum gets brought out, I was like, this is where it's going to happen. Yeah. Like we're finally going to get one.
We're going to get it,
and it was great because it recapped the events of the first movie a bit. Right down to everyone being in the same locations and costumes and looks and everything. And it was like, the attention to detail for this short joke is worth it.
It's so good.
So that was a really nice touch. Cassie and Scott's relationship, I think, is the best thing about this movie.
And I also think
it's wonderful.
That is something that's going to play into Avengers 4.
Well, this is about, this film really sets up the idea of, not as like a calling... But this film sets up the idea of Ant-Man and the Wasp being a legacy name.
Yeah. And it also sets up...
Hank and Janet were Ant-Man and the Wasp. Scott and Hope are Ant-Man and the Wasp. And Cassie wants to be Scott's partner.
Yeah.
Deep Cut's comic nerddom, we know that Cassie
becomes Stature as part of the Young Avengers, yeah.
Yeah, so, that happens. So, time travel stuff with Avengers 4, I think, based on the fact we have casting for an older Cassie.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a shame in a way because...
Well, this actress has been like, Yeah, no, this is... Cassie's arc in this movie is totally about her wanting to be a superhero because of her dad.
Yeah.
And that is also partly why she encourages him to do it so much.
I love that she knows he did wrong, but she still sees how cool the big like heist sort of stuff is. Like
well, she's old enough to understand that sometimes you have to break the law to do
the right thing.
The right thing.
Yeah. So what's nice is that she's definitely got her father's morality, but her father's morality now, as opposed to what got him in jail in the first place.
But also...
Their heist at the beginning. Their little mock heist, because he's so bored that he's made ducts and giant ants made of card and slides down all the stairs.
Dave made a maze?
I think...
Where this dude makes... It's an indie movie where this dude just makes a labyrinth out of cardboard in his living room, and then it becomes this magical, huge labyrinth inside. But I just thought of that immediately.
Yeah,
but I thought it was really smart. Well,
it was just sweet because it's like his way of getting to kind of show her what he did and what he went through without obviously being able to do it properly because arrested again.
And also, like he says, 2 years not being able to leave the house, he has to get creative to keep his little girl entertained. He even learned close-up magic.
That recurring gag. That recurring
it's
gag.
So good. And it's
wonderful.
It's a great example of how you wrap comedy into a movie like this.
Yeah.
Is you set up the gag and then you not only do you pay it off in another gag later on, but you also use it to help the set pieces flow.
Yeah. Oh god, it's just the fact that the idea that everybody in a position of sort of police or a federal authority is dumbstruck by it.
Randall Parker's Jimmy Woo is so good in this.
Wonderful.
Because he's so...
He's like...
I recognise Randall Parker, but I can't think of anything else I've seen him in.
He's Goofy Coulson.
Yeah.
He's Goofy Coulson. And it works so well. Especially the end where he's like, I'll see you again. He's like, why? He's like, what do you mean? He's like, what do you mean you'll see me again? He's like, when you... Do you want to, meet up after this?
You want to get dinner?
Do you want to get dinner or something? No, I meant when you break the law again. I'll see you again. He's like, right, well, I'm not going to break the law. So right. But I'm just saying I'll see you. I mean, do you want to get dinner? So good. Like, cause he's definitely like a competent, capable agent, but he's also not like the best reader of basic interaction.
And he's just a bit downtrodden and like, oh, I really need to win.
When it just cuts to him looking at close-up magic tutorials and stuff. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
so funny. Walter Goggins is having a blast.
Walton Goggins is having a blast in everything he's ever in, but he's particularly good in this.
He is Waltering his Goggins in this movie.
Walton Goggins.
No, he's Waltering. It's an adjective.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But he's
fine, I guess.
All right, Waltoning his Goggins. Whatever. Potato, Walton.
Also Walton. He is
again like he's a very basic villain character.
Yeah.
He's not got much to him, but they set up those ideas of like all of his intelligence is based in info he gets from someone in the bureau, and he's. Like, he's obviously an image guy. He likes being in charge. He likes having the information people need and the tech people need. He fronts a restaurant because he wants to have something to be proud of that he can talk about legally.
Yeah.
Even though they may have... We may have not passed some healthy...
We have a lot of health code violations. Some of those would shock you.
It is truth serum.
His henchman with the chemical cocktail that's not truth serum but acts exactly like truth serum until he eventually admits at the end that it is truth serum under the effects of his own truth serum.
Oh god. The Hot Wheels box full of shrunken cars.
Yeah.
If they don't sell that, at some point I'd be surprised.
I'm expecting to see that in a Disney store any day now.
Because that was genius.
Yeah.
Like the first time they grabbed it, I was like, that's like the old Hot Wheels things used to get. Like the tyres with... No, it is.
It is a Hot Wheels thing.
So good. And the idea that Hank and Hope have been on the run long enough that they have systems in place and they know what they're doing, but also the complete. I love the complete confidence in them both that no one's going to say anything or that they're going to be out of the area before anyone can arrive anyway.
Yeah.
That they just shrink things so obviously.
Yeah.
Like whole buildings just... Right, get in the car. And you're like, pardon me? And you're like, no one's going to point that out, but it's like, no, they're that confident that people will be like, I just saw a building spit. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. They just don't care because they're so driven by what they want to do. Because that was the emotional core of the movie.
It's them trying to...
It's family. But yeah, no, it's specifically them going, we got a hint that, you know, Janet is out there. She might be alive. We're going to find her.
And...
We're going to make it work.
You know... We get the classic Marvel de-aging stuff at the start of this movie.
Which again looks good.
It better look good because they're doing it with Sam Jackson for
the entirety of Captain Marvel.
So, but no, it looks fucking great. The young Michael Douglas looks really good. The young Michelle Pfeiffer looks really good.
I've noticed they found a happy medium
by
making the present day them... by making them up a bit older than they actually do look. Because Michael Douglas is an older guy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't quite look as old as Hank Pym.
Yeah.
Like, Hank Pym's just... It's the way he carries himself and the hair and stuff. They've made him look a little older.
Yeah.
Same with Pfeiffer when she comes back toward the end of the movie. Like, they've made her look a bit more older.
Listen, she's been in the Quantum Realm for a while.
Yeah, but it's done in a very conscious way to help aid...
Still got those smoky
the flashback
eyes,
that she does. Her big saucer eyes.
They cheat with Lawrence Fishburne, though.
Yeah!
It's his son.
Now that... I only found that out afterwards,
and
I couldn't quite believe it.
Because
if that's his son, my God, he looks so much like his dad.
I heard it afterwards, and I was like, nah, that's not true. So I IMDb'd it, and it is true. Langston, is it his name?
Langston Fishburne?
Langston Fishburne.
Like, that is nuts.
He
only appears on screen for about 20 seconds.
It's a very, very brief flashback, yeah.
But it's a speaking role.
Yeah.
He has a few lines and he interacts with another character and it's like, okay.
Yeah, Langston Fishburne. That's the picture of him.
My God. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a bit of digital trickery just to sort of iron out the lack of creases.
And he's got the hair as well.
That is... Which, he is
even without that, just looking at the pictures like, yeah, that looks like...
a younger Larry Fishburne.
Don't call him Larry.
Don't call him Larry.
Hey. Yes.
Please, call me... please, Mr. Fishburne was my father. Call me Mr. Lawrence Fishburne.
Call me Mr. Lawrence Fishburne, sir.
He's really good, and I like that they pulled the rug out from under comic book fans with this a bit as well. They did a Mandarin in the sense of, oh, you think you know what this is? No. He's one of the antagonists of the movie. He's not a bad guy, and he's doing it all for the right reasons. But when he steps out of the shadows, I was like, oh no! And then I went, no, that's brilliant, because you movie have shit on my expectations, thinking I know it all by coming into this going, oh, it's Goliath, I know what this is all about.
But also, as you go on, you realise that he is Ghost's moral compass.
He's the reason she's not done really bad things.
Because she was being used,
She's being used by S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And they don't explain it this way in the movie, but I realised afterwards, she was probably being primed by the Hydra parts of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because she was made to do some heinous shit.
Because there's conflicting accounts on how much of her father, Elias Starr, also Egghead in the comics, and here he's working on quantum tunneling stuff, which backfires, and that's what gives her powers. Her phasing powers are linked to the quantum realm, which is why she wants to get the tunnel so she can drain quantum energy from Janet, if she's still alive, to stabilise herself, because she's steadily dissipating. But it's not actually made clear whether Elias was a traitor, and that's why he was fired from Hank's project, or Hank just didn't like him and thought he was stealing his work, which, again, from Bill Foster's perspective, we get an idea that Hank Pym was a fucking jerk to work with.
Which, again, going off of the comics is a really nice way for the movies to... And it's in the first time, it's like this as well. It's a really nice way for the movies version of Hank... Because the thing is, in the comics, Hank Pym is a piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
Like, he wasn't designed to be that way, but stuff they did with him along the way, you're like, this is not a nice character. Like, this is not a nice person.
Yeah.
And some shows and comics and adaptations go one way or the other with that. Like, the Earth's Mightiest Heroes, the animated series, takes him in a much more sympathetic route because he's like, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. Right, you lot are freaking holding me back, I'm gone. Or sometimes he's like, right, no, hang on, you've used my stuff to do that, I don't want to be a part of this. And they make him a much more sympathetic character in the animated show. Like, he's abrasive and arrogant, but ultimately he's a good man. That's what they've done with this.
Yeah.
But they've shown that he's grown to be a good man.
Yeah.
And the only person who really saw it in him and maybe brought it out in him when he was younger was Janet.
Yeah.
And
but also he was probably still kind of a dick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like she was his moral compass, as it were.
Yeah.
And you know, he's very loyal to his wife and he loves his wife, which is set up so wonderfully in the opening scene of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Where he smacks the shit out of that S.H.I.E.L.D. agent in front of a reverse aging technology, Hayley Atwell.
Oh, I always love when Hayley Atwell pops up in these movies. I love when Hayley Atwell pops up in anything. She's fucking great.
I'd love it when Hayley Atwell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is Hayley Atwell?
Oh, God.
Not in all of this.
Every time I remember Christopher Robin's out the end of this week, I'm like, oh, yay.
Yeah.
Oh, yay, and Hayley Atwell.
Yeah.
Like, because it's Hayley Atwell. But, yeah, so, like, the Hank is a bad person who's had a moral compass of his own and has learned to become a better person over time.
Yes.
He's still not, like, the greatest guy in the world, but he's getting there.
Yeah.
And that is, again, part of the arcs of this movie. It's about, like, you don't have to be the person the world has decided you are. You can be better.
Yeah.
Like, you can improve. Sometimes it takes help.
Which is great at the end, because at the end, after Janet comes out of the quantum realm, she chooses to help Ava / Ghost. With the quantum energy she's absorbed over the time being in the quantum realm to stabilise her. Not permanently, as it's implied by the...
Yeah, they suggest that things might not be over.
Yeah, by the mid-credit scene. But also, they let them get away.
Yeah.
And
they let them get away, and then according to the mid-credit scene, they prepare to help them when they do come back or resurface. Yeah.
But also, Bill doesn't leave Ghost.
No, he
despite
goes
all
with
she's
her.
done.
Yeah.
He insists that she come with him.
Yeah.
And they seem, according to, it's implied again by the mid-credit scene that they get away.
Yeah.
It's a redemption for her. And
which is why I didn't mind her not being a villain.
No.
Even though they do they toy with that for a bit. They
as you
toy
say,
with her being proper creepy.
The Walton Goggins character he's the
baddie.
He's the villainy.
Yeah.
But even then, he's out of his depth and relatively incompetent. He's almost Justin Hammer to the point where it could have been Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
And I can see where it would have been Justin Hammer, but he doesn't particularly bother me that it isn't.
Yeah.
But he is... Even then, he's never really a credible threat.
Mm-hmm.
He makes threats.
Yeah.
And he throws spanners in the works, but he's never really a credible threat to the... He's so outclassed.
It's almost like he's the villain in a comedy.
Yeah. But he's the villain in a completely different kind of film.
Yeah.
If this was a straight action movie without superheroes, he might be a credible threat.
Yeah.
But
they'd let him pull a few more triggers and you'd go, okay, fine, he fits. Yeah.
But everything the Pims do completely outclasses him.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have a chance in hell, so he just becomes... It's not about villains, it's about obstacles.
Yes.
Put in the way of this family getting back together.
And speaking of, I said it in the main non-spoilery bit, but I was so relieved about Hope's character growth because I completely understand her character in the first movie, but even on rewatches, I'm always like, it's less her fault, more the fault of it being a story or a trope I've seen a million times. The person with the stick up their butt who's going to eventually learn why they're mad, and I was even on rewatches, I'm always like, please get to the bit where they're all getting on. Please get to the bit where they're all getting on. Please get to the bit where they're all getting on. Yay, they're all getting on. So to have a movie where she's fully aware of the sins of her father and of her own misinterpretations of what turned out to be a great sacrifice and everything and what all that, like, we get a flash of grumpy Hope at the beginning, but this time it felt more like a mirror of her dad because, of course, the situation they're in this means they're going to be pissed off.
Scott.
But then as the film goes on and everybody starts to gel again, I'm like, yay!
Yeah.
Like, Evangeline Lilly gets to stretch a bit more in terms of the range of emotion she can play as the character. Whereas in the first movie, she's very much on one course.
Yeah.
And then unleashes it in the last act. In this movie, she can play it more up.
From what's been said, and
she's brilliant.
They've ever referred, if you're going to it, from what's been said, the sort of thinness of Hope's character is actually a holdover from the Edgar Wright Joe Cornish script.
Yeah.
And one of the things Peyton Reed did when he took it over is to flesh out that character a bit more.
Which, I mean, it makes sense in that first movie, but it's just, as a personal preference, I just wish that it was shaken sooner into that story. Yeah. But it means that we get this movie where, like we already said, she's basically our action lead for this film. and she gets to play, and you can see her enjoying it.
Is great.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence in the restaurant, not just the kitchen, the entire restaurant sequence.
It's just that one moment where she zips upwards, and it took my head a second to realise how freaking wonderful this was. But they're firing up at her, trying to shoot her. And of course they're missing, because she's just perched on one bead of a chandelier, looking down at them, and that juxtaposition of the visual, full room, big crystalline palace-esque thing, and it's just because she's put. It's like this is where this film's strengths lie. It really played with the tools it's been given, and the abilities our heroes have to create some interesting visual stuff. Quantum Realm, sloppy maggot whale things,
tardigrades.
What are they called?
Real things.
They're terrifying.
Yeah. They're real. They're
really
also called water bears. They're a real microscopic organism, and they can survive in vacuum. They can survive in extreme cold. They can survive in extreme heat. They are very, very tough little motherfuckers. You've seen Star Trek Discovery, right?
Yeah, I've not seen all of it yet. I'm only like 5 episodes in.
So the tardigrade that the Spore Drive is based on, that's a blown-up version of one of these real tardigrades. Okay. That's why they call it a tardigrade, because it's a blown-up version of one of these little microscopic critters.
That's pretty cool. Oh, wow. You learn something every day.
They're real things, and they are that cute / terrifying. Yeah.
They play that moment really well in the film as well.
Yeah. Like, oh, these are majestic and beautiful, and no, fuck, it's gonna eat me.
Like, we need to keep going now.
Yeah.
More giant ant comedy. My favourite shot in the whole film wasn't even visually stunning. It was just the shot of that one shot of the ant sat on the couch with the house arrest anklet on, eating cereal, and they somehow made it look guilty.
Yeah.
Like when Lewis comes in and he goes like,
the ant.
Scott? Like, he's so confused. And he just sort of looks at him and it's almost going like, oh, I'm sorry, man, about the mess.
It's not
like, how did they make an ant look guilty?
Clearly something happened to the ant that was left over at the end of Ant-Man.
Well, I don't know if that's that one, but we know that whatever that one is has made them realise that, these can be useful, because the lab is full of about at least 6 ones that are constantly working on the tech.
I think it's fair to assume...
Or acting as Hank's personal guard dogs against Bill and stuff.
The one that was left over...
Bill? What am I about? Bill? Yeah?
Yeah, anyone.
Goliath. What's his name?
Yeah, Bill Foster.
Good. For a moment there, for some reason, I was like, who the hell is Bill? Why have I invented the name Bill? Don't call him Larry.
The one that's running around at the end, I think, has probably died by this point, because ants don't live very long.
No.
It's been 2 years.
What you're saying is, in an ideal world, they'd still be doing the one-shots, and there'd be some horrific one-shot that's basically an ant version of Stand By Me.
Yeah.
A kid just finds a giant ant dead.
Oh, no.
And they're gone.
So, but yeah, the playing with the giant ants, and also playing, and the best size-changing comedy in the film doesn't come from getting really big or really small. It comes from getting in between, and it's the sequence in the school.
Oh,
which
good
is
Lord.
Fucking great.
Oh my God!
Like the way it's probably all done on blue screen, but the way it's choreographed, it makes it look really neat. There's some fucking zingers from Evangeline Lilly and Michael Douglas.
Yeah.
They both get to do a lot more comic stuff in this.
Yeah, a lot
brilliant
of wonderfully dry aside.
Oh fucking hell! Michael Douglas is so dry, he sucks all the moisture out of the surrounding environment.
And in this movie,
that's just his craggy skin. Yeah, just.
Let's talk. Speaking of giant ant, let's talk post credit. You missed the post credit.
I missed the very, very post credit. The last one. I saw the first one, which is the one that is absolutely setting up how important Scott Lang is going to be in Avengers 4, and if it isn't, I will eat an ant Probably not.
No, don't do that. But yeah, so the post credits is the empty apartment, the empty house, and in the corner of the image you can see that the TV is on like emergency broadcast, please stand by thing.
Yeah.
And the camera just sort of slowly pans around the quiet, empty thing, and you hear the drums. And eventually it settles on the electric drum kit, and the ant is playing the drums.
Yeah.
So the post credits is just a little moment, but it's the mid credits.
The mid credits is where the meat.
And have you noticed that's what they're doing now? The mid credits is like the scene you need to see. The post credits is a thanks for sticking around.
Yeah, this is a little fun bit.
But I think that started with Spidey, maybe.
Thor Ragnarok definitely did it because it was the
because Guardians had 5 and all of them were just different bits and pieces. None of them, apart from the Adam Warlock one, none of them are like setting up a future thing. They're just sort of like, here's some stuff for you. Thanks for sticking around, kids.
But I do love the Thor Ragnarok one of the had a revolution and you won. Well done.
Yeah, of course, there can't be a revolution without someone to revolt against.
So yay me. Maximum Goldblum.
Because what was Black Panther? Mid credits was mid credits. Oh no, Black Panther was different because mid credits was the what does Wakanda have to offer the world?
Yeah.
And then the post credits was White Wolf setting up Bucky being awake and ready for more. And then we got Infinity War, where there is no post credits. Is there a mid credits on Infinity War? No, there is post credits on Infinity War. Yeah. No, that's it. There's no mid credits on Infinity War. There's a post credits, which is the setting up of Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So this one goes back to the idea of the post credits just being something fun, the mid credits being something. Now, I almost wish that the mid credits was the post credits because it's weird to get Janet back, and then lose her on screen 5 minutes later.
You need people to know what happened going into Infinity War.
Absolutely,
and putting it after the main credits is a really smart place to put it. And it is
because we've had so much fun. Yeah, and we've had a laugh. To then suddenly remind everyone, oh yeah, do you remember that one you watched a couple months ago that upset you? Now they're syncing up.
This took place simultaneously, and also this is where it ends.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like it's brilliant because basically they're doing a condensed version of a quantum experiment in the back of a van. Again, like looking to channel more stuff to help Ava in the future and continue their research.
Channel more quantum healing energy.
Yeah, and Scott's going to be shrunken down and sent into this sort of pocket version of a quantum tunnel to study it, and it's all going to be fine, la 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 la. And then, that was the thing, as they were counting down for him to shrink and go in, I was thinking, something's going to happen, something's going to happen. But it didn't. And then he goes.
Then they do that first mic check, and it's like, and he doesn't respond straight away. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh no, he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah. And then they count back to pull him, because he's just going in to grab something and then come straight back out.
Yeah.
He's literally in there for about 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. And they count down 5, 4, 3, 2...
Yeah, just cuts off.
He's like, guys, where are you? And then that familiar bit of score starts to play as the camera cuts back to the parking lot and the experiment. And these just dust clouds where 3 people once stood are fading off into the wind.
And Scott is trapped in the quantum realm with time vortexes. Because you get an offhand line from Janet being like, oh yeah, watch out for the time vortexes. If you get caught in one of those, you'll be lost in space and time.
Yeah.
I wonder how Scott Lang's going to get out of the quantum realm and also maybe help to resolve the plot of Avengers 4. Is it with time travel? Because we know that there's a teenage Cassie Lang. Also, rumours and set pictures that show stuff with a younger Iron Man and an older Iron Man and a no-beard Steve Rogers in a different costume and all other kinds of things.
Shenanigans.
Also, the Time Stone was a major player.
A major what?
A major player.
Player.
Big dick player.
Big dick energy. Player.
So yeah. Doctor Strange having the Time Stone and them being in the Endgame now. It's not an accident.
No, it's all been set up.
This is, I think...
It's all part of the plan.
Which is why I think Avengers Forever is the best title for Avengers 4.
Yeah. I'm down.
The clown.
With the emails.
That
was a segue.
It was a segue. Emails, baby.
Did you know? Oh, this is fascinating, right?
What's
I don't know
that?
if you heard this. You know Segways?
Segways, yeah.
Did you know, right, that the man
Yeah.
who invented the Segway
Yeah.
really liked pineapple? Little fact
That's
there.
not a segue. That's a tangent.
Oh.
You were supposed to make a tangerine, not pineapple joke, but you fucked it, didn't you? Absolutely fucked it. Christopher, this is why I don't set up jokes for you anymore. Okay! This one comes in from Jacob.
Go, Jacob. How are your limbs?
Says, hello, big damn cockers. Well, this has been an eventful week. This came in for last week's podcast, but we didn't get to it. That bloody Doctor Who trailer was brilliant. Again, I saw people on the Twitter complaining about it. I thought it was brilliant, and I personally like the fact it didn't reveal anything about Series 11. Like the fact that Rani and Omega are going to be the main villains. I love the fact the first shot of it was in a quarry. It felt very fitting. Jodie's going to make an excellent addition to the Doctor Who unitard. Last week you guys were talking about specifically filmed Doctor Who trailers. My personal favourite was the Series 4 trailer where Donna is sitting at a campfire talking about some of the events in the series. I don't recall that one
I recall that
at all.
I recall that one.
I'm so excited for Series 11. Me too! So Star Wars The Clone Wars is coming back. I'm personally excited about it. I know that it wasn't very well received. I'm assuming that's what that means... but I like most of it, and I'm glad to see it brought back. I thought it was particularly well received by the fans.
Yeah,
not the first season,
no.
and not the movie.
No.
And I've sat through the movie, and that is a fucking atrocious piece of shit. But I hear
well,
the show got really
the show,
good.
does it?
And I liked Rebels. The only thing it's got to do with the show is it introduces Ahsoka.
Oh, that sucks.
So
I love this character. Where did she first appear? Don't watch
Yeah.
it. Don't watch it.
Doctor Who questions.
Doctor Who.
Would you ever do an episode about what Doctor Who means to you?
We did.
Yeah.
It's called Boomtown 9 is 10
Yeah.
and 9 is 10 After Party episode 13.
No, I'm sure we'll do more Doctor Who focused stuff in the future, especially with season 11 around the corner. So we're definitely, there's room for us to get more in depth onto the old Doctor Who.
Hey, Doctor Who.
How
the TARDIS. Wait, what?
Is there an episode of modern Doctor Who that you can't sit all the way through?
Doctor Within the Wardrobe.
Yeah.
Any of the Monk trilogy.
Yeah.
And Hellbent.
I actually didn't even watch Face the Raven or The Woman Who Lived or any of that stuff.
Oh, The Woman Who Lived and the Girl Who Died as well, actually.
Yeah. I couldn't. I was so turned off by the episodes leading up to those that I was just like, I can't do this. So it's not so much that I couldn't sit all the way through an episode, it's that I couldn't make it all the way through a season. Have a blooming good week, Jacob. Okay. I'm not going to do them all. I'm only going to do another couple because...
You've been up since
Jesus,
balls
this one's long!
You've been up since balls o'clock as well, so you need to sleep, sir.
Tom, you've got a really long email here, but I'm going to save it for another day because it's massively long. And I'm going to blow through these two from George.
And what about the emails?
Yay! Yeah, Tom, we'll get to yours next week. Don't worry. So these two from George. First one came in for last week's episode, but we didn't get to it, and it's titled "Derek Sibley the Actor." Greetings, big damn lads. Hope you're both well.
It's an email from Daisy Ridley in the past.
I know. I write to see you in a panic, having forgot to email and trying to make the next episode. Don't worry about it, because we're always late now. We're working for real and working on my channel. I don't know how you managed to fit it all in. We don't. That's why there hasn't been any big damn love for forever. You are heroes and make my week worthwhile. Some questions I tried to think of while writing this email. Favourite and least favourite Torchwood and SJA episodes.
Favourite and least favourite Torchwood SJA episodes?
I've not watched enough SJA to answer the SJA one.
Well, we're going to have a marathon.
Yes.
Favourite Sarah Jane? I answered this recently, actually. It's either Death of the Doctor from Series 4 or The Curse of Clyde Langer from Series 5. That's a really, really good one.
Favourite Torchwood is Countryside. Least favourite is Everything Else.
Favourite Torchwood?
No, least favourite is fucking Cyberwoman. Ugh.
Favourite Torchwood, Children of Earth.
Yeah, Children of Earth is very good.
All 5 episodes, because you can't watch just one. It's one story in 5 parts.
Mm-hmm.
And least favourite Torchwood?
Miracle
Probably
Day.
the last episode of Miracle Day, because the thing is, series 1 and 2 is, divides opinion, but it is ultimately camp and fun in places when there's some episodes that really aren't very good, and there's some episodes that are really enjoyable. Series 3 is brilliant television, like brilliant event telly, excellent sci-fi, fantastic TV.
Yeah.
Miracle Day starts out like that, and then is dragged on for 10 episodes. And I believe that was because Russell T Davies wrote 5, and then Starz said, we'll do this, because it was the Starz network in America made it.
Yeah.
We'll do it, but only if there's 10. So they had to stretch it. Some of the most interesting stuff happens in the middle episodes, with the idea of what the hell do we do with overpopulation / with people who like punished or whatever, and you find out some people they've just been cremating people on the sly to try and ease things. But of course, the way this works, their insides are still alive.
Yeah.
And that their remains are somehow conscious in a way because they live forever. So it's like, oh god, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And they say it's wonderfully told. And then it just ends on such a wet lettuce. Like, the ending's just such a damp squib.
A wet latouche.
Yeah, so, yeah. Which doubly sucks because, of course, we don't see any more.
Favourite film in the Cornetto trilogy?
In the Cornetto trilogy?
Yeah. Hot Fuzz for me.
I think Hot Fuzz is the best one. I think I enjoyed The World's End the most, but I think that's probably because
George also enjoyed The World's End the most.
Yeah, but I think that's because I watched Shaun of the Dead. I think for a lot of people was like one of the first 10 DVDs in their DVD collection. So like I watched Shaun of the Dead relentlessly, and I've watched Hot Fuzz relentlessly. I've seen The World's End much less, so it's still kind of new. Do you know what I mean? I watched it maybe 3 times, but it's still kind of new to me whenever I see it. So yeah.
Okay.
Hey! Trick question. The real answer is Scott Pilgrim.
If you could cast... No! If you could cast Matt Berry in any film or TV show, what would it be and why? Matt Berry and Ray Purchase the Doctor and Master, please. That's all for now. Hope you both have a wonderful week. Lots of big downloads you find, gentlemen. Until next time, goodbye, my dears. George!
That would be a wonderfully ineffective master.
The bloody master.
Dun, dun, dun. Master. What would cast Matt Berry
Doctor.
in? I'd like to see him in a drama.
I'd like to
to see how that would work, because I've never seen him in anything other
I'd
than
like
a
to see him
comedic
be a
role.
proper boo-hiss villain.
Yeah, like in something, what, with a comedic bent or full blown, like
Not
are we
necessarily
talking
comedic
Are
bent.
we talking like Robin Williams in 1 Hour Photo? Oh my god, I can't quite believe you could do this sort of role. Because like Robin Williams, did some stuff that obviously showed off his chops, but then when you get to 1 Hour Photo, you're like, wow, you can play insanely creepy.
Yeah, something like
Something like Broadchurch, like something like some kind of evening procedural that with darker undertones.
something grimy and slimy and a bit gritty, like serial killer style. You'd make a great Who villain in the vein of someone like
something a bit more bombastic, so with a comedic angle but still quite dark.
the pirate captain.
Yeah, or like how many Nymons has he seen today? You could really sort of give him a role like that.
Yeah.
Problem is, as long as he doesn't do a diarrhea commercial, because if he does even one of them, then it's good night, sweetheart. For those listening at home, as opposed to being us two in the room right now, I did click.
Just go and watch the episode. It's
worth
fun.
it.
And Daisy Ridley's in it for 2 seconds.
She is. It's really weird.
And then the one that George sent in for this week says, greetings, big damn lads. Hope you're both doing well. I know it's been a rough week, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a toughie.
Don't worry, Matt. I love you both equally. That's good to know. And I hope this week brings you both a lot of happiness and good times. This will be my last email for a couple of weeks as I go on holiday for 2 weeks. So don't miss me too much.
Lucky
Trying
sod.
to get everything ready before I go. I've made sure to pre-record episodes of the podcast that I hope come out in time when I'm not here. Good idea.
Nicely done.
Good idea. A couple of questions to leave you with. Do you think Chris Chibnall is lying about the Daleks?
No. Now, I wouldn't put it past them appearing in some capacity due to the as yet unconfirmed but sort of quite believable Terry Nation
Everybody
state clause.
knows it's all about Terry Nation!
Who's Lucy's least favourite Doctor Who writer currently? Like, during our
Yes.
marathon, every time a Dalek
Because
story...
he's not very good.
Every time a Dalek story comes up, she's so bored. And I was like, what's really weird is you're going to feel like this for all of them. You'll start to like them a bit more in the Third Doctor's era.
Yeah.
Because there's other characters as part of the story. Then Genesis is going to knock your socks off.
Genesis is fucking great.
Destiny's going to make you go, what the hell's going on? And then you're going to love Resurrection, Revelation and Remembrance.
Because when other writers get hold of the Daleks,
them.
they actually do interesting stuff with them. Genesis is really good, but it is definitely an anomaly in Terry Nations.
Yeah. Ooh, there. The most interesting parts about his old Dalek stories are where they aren't focused on the Daleks. So, like, the chase is interesting because the Daleks aren't the focus, it's where they're going to end up here. Like the Mary Celeste and you know, the House of Horrors and things like
Mechanus.
that. Well, yeah, but...
Home of the Mechanoids.
And another bloody jungle. We realise he's obsessed with jungles.
He loves a jungle!
He loves a
Terry
jungle.
Nation.
So weird. Like, but it's got to be radioactive jungle. Or it's got to, like, have invisible monsters in it. Like, it can't just be a jungle. It has to have something weird.
I don't think Chris Chibnall is being entirely truthful about the Daleks.
I think he is in regards to Series 11.
They're not going to be a main villain.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were in a Christmas episode or something.
I believe they...
Do you know
I
what I mean?
believe they will make some kind of appearance just to...
Because I don't think it's a series-based thing.
No.
I think it's a year-based thing.
Yeah.
Because look at the year that it was off air. We had Husbands of River Song at Christmas.
Yeah.
Then we had no Doctor Who till Return of Doctor Mysterio. But we had the teaser for Series 10 with Bill.
And a
which
Dalek!
featured a Dalek.
Yeah.
So they will find a way to use them. It could be in the spin-off media. It could be that they play a prominent role in the spin-off media, maybe. Yeah. So I don't think we're not going to see them at all this year, but I do believe they're telling the truth when they say not in the 10 episodes that are going out.
Is Hacker the new master?
I'd love that. I mean, it would ruin the show. And he'd just constantly keep saying, Doctor Who!
Yes.
Hey, who?
Yes.
Who is she?
Did you think the ending of Ant-Man and the Wasp was underwhelming? No, I didn't.
The actual ending? No, not at all. Yeah. It's fine. It was a small-scale story, pun intended.
And the ending in terms of the mid-credits? Fuck no!
No, it was there to remind you that this is a bigger story.
Yeah. No, I was absolutely pleased with Ant-Man and the Wasp. I got exactly what I wanted out of it. More or less standalone, light, fun, witty, slightly silly, also kind of sentimental, neat little movie. You know what I really liked?
Yeah.
Is we know when when Janet is controlling Scott's body from the quantum realm.
Yeah.
They didn't really play it for laughs.
No, they didn't. They do for a second, and then they PS it with a chuckle.
Yeah, they do it immediately, but then Paul Ruddy's doing the sort of feminine affect, but not as a joke.
Yeah.
And it's actually really sweet.
It's so sweet. And then you especially get the bit where they're all holding hands, and then you get the
little tag at the end with the holding hand. But they don't linger on it long enough for the Michael Douglas and the Paul Rudd to do a holding hands thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, what? And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah.
They didn't play the sort of gender bending aspect of that for laughs.
Yeah. They didn't turn it into a gay panic joke.
Yeah. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Paul Rudd is absolutely doing the feminine affect, but not in a parody way.
Yeah. The moment he starts talking, you sort of go, okay, this is kind of funny. And then you just buy the... someone's talking through him. Because
they don't do the jokes.
Yeah.
He sells it. But I would not surprise me if he got Michelle Pfeiffer to read those lines.
So you could understand
listen to them.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. When is our crossover, you beautiful bastards? Well, George, we've still not done Milk and Two Sugars yet, so join the queue.
Or Smash the Media.
Or Smash the Media.
Yeah, all the Five Who Fans podcast.
All the Five Who Fans podcast. Well, that's it for a couple of weeks. See you soon, boys. Try and listen when I can. Keep up the good work. See you soon. Lots of big damn love to you, and goodbye, my dears. So yeah, Tom, we've got a big long email from you. We'll get to that next week. It looks long anyway.
We've got, as always, folks, if we don't read out your email, nil fret. We will either eventually get to it or send it to us again further down the line at bigdamcontact@gmail.com.
We'll either get to it or we won't. So just chill.
For example, if your email does not pertain to stuff that is relevant in terms of the overall topics anymore and we haven't got around to it, it's not because we don't like you. It's just because we've had to move on.
Yeah.
So
it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of moving on, bye.
Guess we'll see you next week then, eh?
Big Damn Cast on Twitter.
BigDamnContact@gmail.com.
Big Damn Stream on Twitch. Big Damn Channel on YouTube.
On Neo Joe. Let's all crumble into dust until next summer.
That sounds ridiculous.